Hello friends and family, and welcome back to the 2023 Discraft's Great Lakes Open, presented by Grip 6. Coverage brought to you by Run Productions. And this is a Disc Golf Pro Tour Playoff event, the first one of the season. And my name's Holyn Handley.
I am Raven Klein. There's no need to whine, because here is the back nine. I hope you love those, because I do. We are back in Milford, Michigan. We'll take a quick check-in here where we left off. Lucky Lawrenson at 5 down through 15. Owen and Kat Mertsch at 4 down. Ooh, what's that? Holyn Handley on that top 10 leaderboard. Let's go. Hole 10, par 4, 507 feet. This one is probably the only hole that really knocks the wind out of you. It's just uphill the whole way. Your first shot, get a little bit aggressive, I would say. I see a lot of players do kind of a backhand turnover. And if you pump it, you can get right here as the drone is flying over it, and it leaves you with a fairly short approach. If you're back further on the hill, it's tougher because you have that low ceiling with the trees on the right side. But this one's a par 4, and you're just going uphill the whole way. No OB to deal with.
And if you saw the end of that drone flight, I believe that was Manabu, the highest rated player in the world, in his practice round. Holyn Handley up first. Perfect drive, left side, which I find preferable.
I'd much rather be on the left side of the fairway.
Mm-hmm.
You have more airspace to work with on your approach.
Mm-hmm. Kat Mertsch also working over on that left side. Ideal position off the tee.
I was going to say it and kind of wait to see what Jess did, but I really do like the backhand better here, and not just as a backhand dominant player. I think you get a better glide and finish out of the disc.
Jessica Weese makes it the same distance as the other two players, but she's more in the middle of the fairway, and Hokom also favors over on the left side.
So as you can see, left side here, you don't have as much of the tree on the right to contend with on your approach. Hokom with a nice approach, and she will be just outside the circle.
Hokom actually had a standstill forehand for that approach, making it that far, as well as Holyn Handley.
Holyn going with pretty much a straight hyzer, not flexing it, and she's just a little bit on the left side, but no problem. Those are all short bushes, so shouldn't get in the way of her putt.
Weese, Hokom, and Holyn are all up there looking at a birdie putt. Kat Mertsch's turn, and the wind has really picked up for her upshot. She zips it up there. She's in the bullseye. That's 4 birdie looks.
The wind that we're seeing is a precursor to a storm that was on its way over to the course. Was hoping that they would be able to finish before the rain. Hokom leaving her birdie bit just short.
Oh, and Holyn tries to spin that one in, but the spin, it catches the top of the cage. And
did a little rail slide.
Yeah, it did. Now she's got a 25-foot comeback for par. I know she's good for it. Off the band.
We've seen 2 of those today. First putt hitting rim, second putt hitting band.
It looked right in the middle, though, so good aim, probably just a wind raise.
Yeah, and you see, players trying to make that slight correction from their first putt, overcorrecting.
Oh, Weese, no chains needed, just a
what
little
chains? Who
around
chains?
The world in the cage.
Where chains?
Who? Mertsch is in for birdie here on the 10th. Holyn will take a bogey.
And Hokom will tap in her par. This did play as the second easiest hole of the day. With that birdie from Weese, that'll bring her back to even, and Kat Mertsch still running with a 5 down.
Hole 11, a 442-foot par 3 that plays downhill. From the tee, the basket, the shape of the shot is a little bit more to the right side, but you can just throw perfectly straight and sort of land short, maybe in the taller grass, and still have a look at a birdie putt. If you want to be aggressive and actually try to get there, it's blind. You're not going to see where your disc lands, so I love all of you spotters out there. Appreciate you guys being out here.
Always thank your spotters.
Cat Mertsch up first, still working that Halo Hawkeye. Beautiful turnover.
She'll be right side of the basket, but that's a beautiful shot.
Thank you.
I think she's in the bushes. Can't really see her.
Who gets to be the Parker?
If you look before they throw, you can see the spotter straight ahead. It's a great spot to aim. Ooh, that's so nice. Thank you.
Jessica Weese with an 15-foot
Yes,
birdie
run
look.
it back.
Flight Factory run back. You know, you can actually go to a Flight Factory and get Ace Run Pro discs.
Well, that's wonderful. People should do that.
Yeah, they should.
Support.
Do that one more time for me.
Hokom hits the gap.
Oh, yeah. See, that'll be just dandy.
Hi, get down there, baby.
She's right in that corner, I said, where you can land and take a long putt at it. Pretty
Her-
much where the spotter's hanging out.
Exactly. See our...
Kind of nose up out of Holyn with her forehand. It's moving over to the right side. It's not bad over there.
No, she'll have just a pitch up for her par. Yep, keeping it low, not messing with the wind. Hokom with a long bid here. Laying up underneath the basket.
Mertsch has a birdie putt from 45.
Do it. Ooh. Good height out of the disc, but right side. So she'll be just outside of the bullseye to save par. And Jessica Weese with the birdie.
Great birdie from Weese. That's 2 in a row. That moves her under par for the round.
There were only 5 birdies today.
That's
so-
it?
Yeah, I know. I thought there would be more. But it's tricky. And when it's windy like it was on this hole, any slight error on your angle release, if you're throwing a less stable disc, and it can get a little hairy. Hole 12, par 3, 267 feet, one of, if not the shortest hole on the course. Straight uphill. I mean, just look at it, it's so pretty. Throwing something maybe a little less stable so you can go straight up the hill. You'll see probably, maybe Holyn, some of these top players throwing a mid have a more control on that straight shot. I know. It's crazy, but it's true. Playing to that right side, letting it hyzer into the hill. Maybe a long putt for 2.
I'm over here making faces as she describes the hole, the shortest hole on the course. This hole plays so long.
It does play really long, but
I've been
it's
playing
technically...
here like 10 years, and I never see 2s. I feel like I see 1 2 a year. So Jessica Weese is actually up there putting for a 2.
You know, a good way to have a 2 is to maybe throw a Ravencline Convict, and if you don't have one, you can enter the giveaway that we'll have in the comment section. It was in the first video. If you haven't watched the front 9, go and do it. But answer in the comments if you prefer ice water in your round or room temperature water, and you could win one of those under stable fairways. Or stable fairways. I guess it depends how you throw it.
Hokom with a beautiful flex forehand, and she's up there putting for birdie. Looks like a fairway.
Oh, did she go with the fairway? All right. Just at the edge of the circle for Holyn.
I'm going to be so excited if I
mid.
see a 2 here.
The only reason I say mid is for that straight flight.
I understand.
But that would be just to play for the 3.
She is good with the buzz.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I thought.
Weese looks like she was happy just to lay that up and drop in a par. Mertsch has a birdie putt from 38 feet uphill. It's windy.
Come on, give Holly what she wants.
I need to
show
see
her
a
a
2.
birdie. Give her the birdie.
Mertsch!
Yes.
I want to run back. Yes! Look at that. Leg up.
Yes, all the power. I love it because she looked like she was a little tired after the putt, but you still got to run it in.
You do.
Holyn with the birdie putt.
Unless you're Lisa. Lisa Fakis
She only walks.
in
That's
her
true.
putt.
She only walks in her putts.
I like it.
Holyn leaving that putt short. You can see she's been a little frustrated with the cups, the putts on the last couple holes. The
cups on the putts.
The cups on the putts and the putts and the cups. Sarah Hokom grabbing a par on this hole, and Jessica Weese, which is the most common score on this hole.
How many birdies?
There were only 3. Kat Mertsch, Jan Allen, and Maria Oliva.
Jen Allen throws 5 and Maria throws 420. So see what I said? It's a long
It's-
hole.
No, it's the shortest hole.
I'm on to hole 13, which is a par 4, 526 feet. Oh, this is another fun one. I love these downhill shots.
This is one of those eagle holes you were asking me about. Which ones you
Yes.
think are eagles? It's this one.
Okay, I like a mid Mako 3 landing right about here. That'll give you a little jump putt or a little chip shot. If you want to be more aggressive with a fairway or a turnover with a forehand with a driver, you can certainly get all the way down there into the circle. Kat Mertsch up first.
Yeah,
After
with
a
that-
birdie on hole 12.
So good. I was going to say, if you can keep this one fairly low and get around the tree with the forehand, just a little inside for Kat, but she'll still be in good position. But if you clear that tree and you end up in that alleyway, it's about 100 feet, maybe a little bit less. Oh yeah, do that. Catching the outer limbs of the tree, but still pushing her way into the alley. She could definitely run that if she wants to.
Sarah Hokom moving towards that tree. You really want to get around. And she cuts on the inside in the wooded corner, which, you know, she's a great woods player. And actually, did you know Sarah Hokom is a 2-time DGLO champion, 2013 and 18?
I did not know that.
Yeah, so she's very familiar with all the areas of this course.
I feel like Holyn released that at great height, and she got a couple wind bounces that kind of sent her up into the tree. Still going to be in great position, but if that had kept its height, I think she would have pushed pretty far down the tunnel.
Mertsch has about a 180-foot upshot, forehand chip, and she's got a drop-in birdie. Holyn with a forehand chip shot. She's in the circle putting for birdie. All right, here's Hokom from that wooded corner.
Even though there's a lot more brush, I feel like I always see people clean out of there
Exactly.
when you're on the side. So I
even
try not to get too worried.
Exactly. You go over there, visually it looks scary, but once you get into your lie, you're like, hey, this isn't so bad.
Weese going for that ego bid. Trying to throw it in. A little bit low, catches the base, and oh, bummer, she'll have a tap-in birdie.
Oh, and
Holyn leaving her putt right side.
it's a couple putts we've seen Holyn let slip away. Sarah Hokom doesn't let her putt slip away, though. It's in the chains for birdie here on the 13th.
Holyn to grab her par. Doesn't look like a far putt, but when you miss those birdie putts, being able to kind of control yourself and just make those 18 footers, 15 footers, it's harder than it looks sometimes when you're frustrated. I would like to point out that not a single person in the field got anything worse than a par on this hole today. So
Way to
that was
go,
great.
ladies! FPO
Well done.
division.
Moving on, we have hole 14, par 4, 550 feet. This is a change from last year. We actually just stay flat the whole time. We tee from the same pad as MPO, and you just have all of this fairway. So a forehand that gets you to the middle, a backhand that gets you to the middle. Just try and pump that distance. You do have OB along the right and left side, but then your second shot, depending on how much you really oomphed it, can be anywhere from 150 to 280, and then another one you really feel like you should birdie. I think this is the one with the least amount of stuff in your way. Although, look at that wind.
That wind's in my way.
Wow.
Mertsch up first. She starts her shot on the left side, and it looks scary.
Oh, wow.
She's out of bounds on the left side. I don't know if she was going for sort of a hyzer flip turnover or just that was an early release.
Yeah, and she threw it a lot lower than she probably planned on it, and I'm sure that has to do with the wind. Weese going with the flex forehand, starting her flight over the left OB, but all the confidence, she knew what she threw.
It was a very conservative shot from Jessica.
Yeah, and you don't have to get too aggressive on this tee shot, with it being a par 4 and the second shot being so open.
Safe on the first and a little bit more distance on the second, perhaps.
Yeah.
Just whatever works best for you to get the birdie op.
Exactly. Looks like the wind already calmed down between Kat's throw and Holyn's.
I was thinking that too. Isn't it crazy? The complete different shots they have.
Wow,
Man.
she threw that low and
Didn't
still
she?
got such distance on it. I like when people are able to just let the disc work, you know, not having to flex something, but trusting it and, you know, it's out of your hands.
This is Kat Mertsch's third shot. She needs to get it up there so she can save par.
Throwing a wide hyzer shot. And she'll be right on the edge of the line, so we'll just have to see what that looks like when they get up there. She doesn't look too worried about it.
Looked like it skipped over the grass tufts. Jessica Weese has about, we go for 290.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. She
I
just
hate when that happens.
nose down her forehand right into the grass 50 feet in front of her. She'll have to play for par at this point.
Hokom's approach, getting great distance. Beautiful. I love good caddy support.
extraordinaire.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Ooh. Holyn with her approach, she, I mean, all day has had just these simple standstill approaches.
Weese's third shot, forehand spike hyzer. She
feel like she was
pushes it.
running that.
Yeah, that's a little long in the wind. It's going to be a 28-foot par putt for Weese.
And Kat was safe, so she'll just take her meter away from the OB. Yeah, worst places to be. Good mindset. Just laying that up there. Might have been a little half bid, but she'll grab a 4.
Jessica Weese needs this putt to go in to save par.
Leaves it low. She was slightly uphill from where she was.
That's really her first blemish here on the back nine.
Yeah. Holyn getting a birdie. Hokom following up with a birdie for herself. And Kat Mertsch, oh, with a bogey. Oh, her first shot was OB. That was my bad.
Right.
Laying up the shot, and it was a bogey.
Mertsch and Weese with the bogey. But everyone now under par for the round.
At Discraft, we don't wait to see what the future holds. We build it. The future is in your hands.
Here we are, hole 15, a par 4, 567 feet. In previous years, we played from the top of the hill, but the hole's changed since then. Your tee shot should actually land right about here, but more aggressive players will land right over the crest of this hill about here. That should give you 290 to 250 into the green, hopefully parking it. Otherwise, if you land short, it's a really significantly uphill putt, more so than the footage is showing you.
And that little gully that you fly over sometimes will have a different wind than the rest of the fairway. So it's pretty likely sometimes to either go that left or right side into the trees.
Sarah Hokom landing past the prime point. She is in really good position to attack for birdie.
Ooh, that had some steam on it.
Holyn actually played through me in practice on this hole, and she said she lost a disc right there in the same spot, only like 1 foot off the fairway.
Wow. Cat Mertsch just missing that tree and being on the right side of the fairway, but there really isn't, I don't think, like a bad spot if
Right.
you're in or around the top of the hill. Mm-hmm. Great shot by Weese. She's in that ideal center location. Holyn was going for a safer play, just trying to be lower at the bottom of the hill, but doesn't commit enough to the angle, and that hyzers out into the right side. Sarah leaves it left on her approach. Should be a pretty easy par, but I don't think she'll have a look for that birdie attempt.
And it is just getting windier and windier as the day goes on. Cat Mertsch sends her Hawkeye past the basket, past the circle. She's up there on the top. She'll be putting downhill for birdie.
Looking really nice from Jess. Landing at the basket and skipping up another 15-20 feet.
Holyn trying to get up there and give herself a par putt. Wow.
Oh,
okay.
don't! No!
Oh, no. That was...
Man, that was such a great shot.
Holyn landed 2 feet from the koozie and then rolled back outside of circle 1.
And probably an obstructed lie. Just get flat. Good out by Hokom, and she will have that putt for par. I mean, truly, that was such a great shot from Holyn, getting out of that rough and just unfortunate on this hill.
It really was.
At least she's in that little opening.
Just like that limb was sort of blocking a real putt at it.
Yeah.
Mertsch decides that that one really isn't worth the risk, so she lays up.
Smart
She's
play.
going to take a par.
Oof. Do it.
Oh, no. And Weese
I told her
clicks
to
the
do
cage
it.
and rolls right over there to where Holyn's disc just rolled to, but maybe in a worse position.
Wow. I feel like this is the hole every year that claims quite a few victims.
Okay, Weese
Good
is
out by Weese, yeah.
up there at the bullseye.
She'll have an uphill putt this time, which is definitely less daunting. Par for Hokom.
Yeah, I like that.
Maybe a bogey for Weese. A bogey for Holyn. And a par for and a par for Cat. So with that bogey, Jess is back to even, and the rest of the card remains under par. Hole 16, par 3, 396 feet. It's downhill, and it is actually an island this year. So the pine tree, or the little tree that you can see in the middle of your screen, you have to get past that another, 60 feet almost, it looks like. And your drop zone is high and left. So even if you don't make the island, the drop zone is not a gimme. If you were to miss, the OB is very close behind the basket. So we probably see a lot of players even lay up from the drop zone. It's a very risky putt.
The most difficult hole on the course. The wind picking up.
Wow.
I'd say this is the windiest tee shot I had all day when I played.
Mm-hmm.
And I teed off at 840. Hokom's forehand moving to the left side, and it is out of bounds off the tee.
Wow.
Mertsch initially hits the gap, but that baby turns over fast, and she's OB on the right side.
There it is. Okay.
Yeah, even in no wind, this is a difficult shot. You have a lot of guardians in front, and even if you were to catch the high branches of the trees above the island, you might not be safe.
Weese lands in bounds.
Let's
a little
go.
roll. Yes, Weese is putting for birdie.
I'd love to look up that stat of how many people actually landed on the island today, just in general.
Right. Only 1 out of 4 on my card.
I think. No, we had someone who hit the island, and then a little bit of wind when she skipped up, pushed OB. It was crazy.
And Holyn hits that evergreen on the way to the island, but lands short out of bounds. Cat Mertsch from the drop zone. Oh,
wow.
What an incredible kid. It's about a 45-foot downhill putt, and if you miss, you're likely to be out of bounds.
That's pretty much the only miss you can make if you're going for it. Because even that,
Hokom goes for it and rolls out of bounds.
it almost looked like she was trying to lay up.
Heartbreaker.
and goes out of bounds.
It did, didn't it?
Like she kept it so low. Holland's not messing with it. She's going to take her bogey like a champ. Swallow the pride a little bit.
Weese for birdie from 20. And it looks like it got caught on her pointer finger and just missed right of the basket. Hokom in for a 5 here on hole 16.
There was only one birdie on the day.
Who
and
was it?
Ella Hansen.
Ella Hansen. You told me she threw a mid?
She threw a mid. She threw an MD3.
Ella Hansen
I
out here
know.
throwing mids while we're all throwing Excaliburs and Destroyers. And
Love the control. I'm pretty sure she shared the video if you want to go watch it, and it was on coverage.
I'm going to watch it as soon as I get done with this commentary.
So with that bogey for Holyn, that brings her back to even, and the double for Sarah brings her back to even. So Cat Mertsch, only 1 under par.
Cat Mertsch's score is looking nice out here.
Yeah.
Let's check out hole 17, another par 5, 755 feet out of bounds on the left and road on the right. Off the tee, you can be conservative and short, landing about here, or be a little more aggressive, landing about here. Depending on what kind of distance you got in your arsenal, you can pump it all the way up to the top with about 400 feet and get yourself an eagle look. Otherwise, it's just hyzer, hyzer, hyzer to get yourself a birdie 4.
It's true.
Jessica Weese up first. She's going
Ooh,
over the
I
fairway.
love that.
I like that too. She pushes the back wall deep and lets the disc hyzer to the inbounds area of the fairway, and that was beautiful.
If you can take that hyzer route and get yourself to land crashing into the side of the hill, it's just really beneficial because you will most likely end up flat.
Mertsch cuts across the corner, and that's an aggressive, risky play, and she doesn't put enough distance on it. It's out of bounds early
I'm
left.
curious where they'll mark that because I don't think it crossed on the flex.
No, not
so
at
she'll
all.
be back behind, still pretty far from the hole.
Handley, big distance off the tee.
Yes.
Incredible.
See the relief after that one. I've seen those are 50-50. You either crash land or you skip OB. Yes, good work, Hokom. I'll take this chance to remind you guys to enter the giveaway that Ace Run is conducting this weekend. Every round there will be a disc to give away. Comment below the video and let us know if you like ice in your water for a round or if you like it air temperature. And you'll have a chance to win one of my Chameleon Ice Convicts.
Cat Mertsch's placement second shot is perfect, right in that opening, and Sarah Hokom's right beside her.
Yep, she saw it, went, like that, followed suit.
And from here, Jessica Weese could try to be aggressive and get way up on top of the hill. But that is a risky move. Let's see if it pays off.
Oh, that was great.
And
Honestly,
it
best
does.
case scenario.
Yes, it does.
I'm not mad.
Well, you shouldn't be.
Yeah, tell her.
And from here, Holyn could get all the way to the top for another eagle putt, and that was a foot fault. Well, it was. She's landed
I
completely to the right side of her mini. Well, her shot gets about 60 feet short of the basket, right side bushes. so she can still pitch up and get a birdie.
Mertsch with the forehand approach, but catching the limbs, and it's going to knock her straight down. So that's not really going to be the look that she wanted, but hopefully she'll be on the edge.
Oh,
get him.
Hokom sends it long and makes the catch cam turn around.
I mean, 4. That's what I meant to say.
Excuse me, coming through. Just playing a little golf here. Weese with the koozie hit. She'll have a drop-in birdie. What do you call that?
No, I just laughed at the wheezy koozie.
The
You've been rhyming all day.
Weese koozie. All right. You know what? I was in that same bush. It's not a good place to be.
Now, Holyn being smart, just pitching out, kind of sacrificing the birdie there. I mean, she can still throw it in, but going with the easy pitch up. Leaves it a little short, but that's fine. Cat with the pitch out. So Hokom had gone past the basket, so she's putting back and hits bandito.
Holyn will take a par after a smart pitch out from that unplayable bush. Cat Mertsch in for a bogey after sending her tee shot out of bounds. Jessica Weese with the birdie. That was just very well executed on every single shot for her. And Hokom with a par. I can't believe the party's almost over.
I know. But we get to do it for 3 more days. So that's wonderful.
Cat Mertsch, 4 under par. Jessica Weese, 1 under par.
Our final hole of round 1, hole 18, par 4, 495 feet, sidearm off the tee or backhand turnover. There is OB along the right and left side. If you can get something, if you go with the backhand turnover, sometimes you can use the post on the side of the hill to stay a little bit safe, get that roll. They move the pin back quite a ways from last year, and they now push us around the corner. So I see this as, sidearm, backhand turnover, but the OB around the basket comes in quick.
Jessica Weese sidearm off the tee, and
We got some more cameraman movement
she's
here.
safe. Holyn backhand turnover.
Oh, I love it.
She gets way up there at the corner of the old pin position.
I'd say last year that would have been a C2 putt for birdie.
Hokom moving more towards the right side with her forehand. Ooh, and she's in bounds.
I thought she was going to be closer than that. Mertsch with the forehand off the tee, right in the center.
Good
You
placement.
don't need to get too much distance off the tee here, but if you can push up closer to where Holyn is, you might actually be able to see the basket. I think they're still similar shots, but having that reference point is nice.
And that big tree is a good visual. You need to land on the right side to stay in bounds.
And it's about, 85 feet from the pin?
And a lot of players will opt just to land between the
Ooh.
V tree and the big tree, but not Jessica Weese. She's going
Come
for
on,
it.
come on.
Oh, and she's out of bounds.
I do like that play, though. Really swinging it wide, but a little bit higher. Let it come back in over the OB.
I wonder if Holland's going to go for it or lay up. She's going for it.
She's going for it. Leaves it a little high, so she'll be right of the basket. Just stay in.
She might be in barely by an edge of the disc. I hope they show us. Oh, no, out of bounds by a centimeter. I love it when they show us. I need to see that every time. Good camera work, guys. Good camera work out there. Mertsch with a forehand
Ooh.
chip.
I wonder if that was her plan. The laugh makes me a little unsure.
It makes all of us unsure.
Weese hyzered into the left side of the chains. Very hard to make that catch.
Holyn looking to save par. And that's what I like about going for it. She was out of bounds, right?
I thought
so
she was
that's
out
a
of
par
bounds.
putt.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you go out of bounds near the basket, once you walk it in, it's a short putt.
Yeah.
Cat Mertsch for par.
Not quite as close from the left side, but still, I mean, for this field. And a par for Hokom. Jessica Weese with the bogey on 18.
And that's it. The day one FPO chase card. Cat Mertsch, she had a great round going out there today. It's really fun to watch.
Yeah, and even the evens on the card, I think that's going to sit well, especially with how windy it got. And Owen Scoggins, your current leader at 7 down. Lucia Lawrenson still held on to it, and she'll be tied with Cat Mertsch in that second place position. And I mean, really looking good with these scores here. Can't thank you guys enough for following along and supporting Ace Run, and then myself and Holly. Don't forget to enter that giveaway in the comments.
Ace Run Pro would like to shout out O'Brien Barbecue for some killer smoked mac and cheese.
I actually did hear about it.
Yeah, you did? Okay, it must be
To
good.
try it tomorrow.
If you'd like to support me, you can go to pharmacbd.com and use code HOLLY at checkout for 20% off all Pharma CBD products.
If you don't want to take your chances on the giveaway, you can find those discs on dynamicdisc.com or another round. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you tomorrow.
Oh, I got it.